Welcome to Subramani. Continuing our retirement blunders, I would not call this a blunder, but terrible bad luck is when you are hit by a big medical expense for which you are not provided for. So let's go back and say I had said not having an advisor or thinking that you don't need an advisor during retirement. One of the biggest mistakes which people make is not knowing how much of insurance to take. Linked with this is I just know of a 52-year-old who retired for absolutely no logic or reason. He was working in a good company, well respected, he had job satisfaction. There was absolutely no reason at all for him to retire. It was not that he was going to be subsumed by his hobbies or things like that. Nothing. He had no reason to retire, but retire he did at the age of 52. He had at least another 10 years to go. The company would have kept him till he was 62, so he had 10 years to go. Now the most important thing when you lose what you lose on retirement is the medical cover. 2 years into retirement he was hit by cancer, and the cancer bill that he got was something like 1 crore of rupees, and it's still not done. There are more expenses to be followed. Cancer recovery is also expensive, lot of expensive medicines to be taken, right? With all the help from all friends, relatives, etc., you get some discounts and all that, but still it's not enough. So suddenly here he was, and he was not a very he was a guy who was typically spending about annually maybe 10 lakhs a year. So 10 lakhs, when you multiply it by 30, you come to a figure of 3 crores. Now 3 crores is the very tight amount of money that you need to retire, and you know that out of this 3 crores there can't be any major drawdown. So this guy barely had 3 crores, and he said, oh, I will lead a very simple life, I may not even need 3 crores, I will go away to my village, I have my own house, I will not spend even this much, right? There you go, you have 3 crores, your wife is a housewife, your child is still not completed education, not started earning, and you're hit with a 1 crore drawdown. Okay, now 1 crore drawdown, you'll have some insurance. Maybe you had a 5 lakh, 7 lakh kind of insurance. I really do not know how much insurance he had. 5-7 lakh of insurance, and maybe another 20 lakhs of the top up, which means 27 lakhs out of 1 crore is paid. Let us say 30 lakhs is paid, which still leaves a 70 lakh hole in your corpus. So please understand the risk. You do not know how long you will live, so you do not know how long the money has to last for you and your spouse. I'm assuming this is a man watching, so, and if your wife is 5 years younger, you may have to provide for another 40-45 years, and that's not funny. So that itself is a very difficult job. We have spoken about that in the previous videos. You do not know how well the fund will get managed. Either you manage it yourself or you go through an advisor or whatever. You do not know how much will inflation be. You do not know how much will the medical bill be. With all these uncertainties, you have to over provide. Now, should you over provide, or should you provide right, or should you under provide, depends on your personality. I know 2 brothers. One brother who for a 7:30 train would love to be there in the railway station by 6:30. If he's there by 6:45 or something, he'll be very upset that he got delayed, right? But he still has 45 minutes to go, and this is not an aircraft that you have to report 2 hours in advance, right? So, but he is like that. His immediate younger brother, believe it or not, is the guy who will walk into the railway station just as the train is leaving, and he has actually done this, put his suitcase into the guard's compartment and jump into the guard's dabba, and then in the next subsequent station gone and found his seat. Now 2 brothers, same household, same everything, right? But this is the attitude to risk which each person has. So depending on your attitude to risk, either I would over provide. I am absolutely unabashed about that. I will over provide, because for a 6:30 flight I complete my check-in by 4:45, right? So I go in advance. I go and sit in the lounge, maybe eat something, maybe sleep, maybe charge my phone. I would do something, but I am not I'm not a votary for reaching at the last minute, right? Given traffic conditions all over the world, given the fact that I take 6 a.m. flights, and 4 o'clock I have to be in the airport. I would have finished my check-in by 4:10, 4:15. So I'm leaving my house at 3:30 or 3:10, maybe even 3. And that time at 3 a.m. chances are, if your car has a flat tire, getting another car at that time in that location to go for a short distance may not be easy. Getting a rickshaw may not be easy. So why take a chance? So I go with 2.5 hours in excess. Now for somebody like me, I need to over provide, because that is what will give me peace of mind. If you are a person who thinks, oh, nothing will happen to me, I don't need insurance, 20 lakhs insurance is enough, just go and check out the costs which happen if you have a liver failure, kidney failure, heart is not so expensive today, but cancer. All these are illnesses which hit you by 75 lakhs to a crore. That's not small. You will never ever be able to provide that much just for medical expenses, and you want to provide that. Of course, it will come out of your wealth. It will not come from somewhere else. But if you are worried about that mental accounting, then you are better off that you buy yourself adequate insurance and delay your retirement, because if you were to be employed till the age of 62, you are covered by insurance till the age of 62. So this person, if he was still employed in his previous employment, out of this 1 crore bill, the whole 1 crore would have been paid by the company, because his company pays not only insurance, apart from that they also give something called hardship allowance, which is a reimbursement of all the taxi fare and all those expenses, some other consulting you do, or they give you a car and driver to help you. They send somebody to the hospital to help you check in, check out, right? It's a pain dealing with Indian hospitals. It's worse than Indian banks and Indian hotels. So you would have got all that support. Suddenly all that support was withdrawn. Of course, I'm doing something called hindsight bias, but I'm saying, when you want to retire, getting the timing right is almost impossible. Take the case of Rahul Dravid. He had a very good series in Australia, and he was perhaps contemplating retirement, but he had a good series in Australia too. So the obvious thing is to think, okay, let me do one more trip. So then he went to England, which was his home ground, right? Rahul Dravid was very comfortable in England, and he had a very bad series, disastrous by his standards, bad by other normal standards. So he came back and retired. So should he have got it right? Should he have resigned? Should he have retired before the Australian tour? Should he have retired after the Australian tour? Should he have gone to England? Should he have retired just after that? It's very difficult to say, right? So you can't get the timing right if you are a professional. But if you are a professional and you're employed, sit with your wife, talk about all the possibilities, say what happens if you are going to be hit by cancer. Do I need to put away 1 crore for that in an account, apart from having 40-50 lakhs of insurance, and saying, in the worst case scenario, that 1 crore will earn 7-8 lakhs a year, and that will keep compounding. So after 3-4 years, if I am hit by cancer, I will have something like 1 crore 40 lakhs lying in that fund. We will withdraw from that fund. That is one way to look at it. Or to say, negotiate with your employer that I will quit at 52, but you give me medical cover till I'm 72, because it's easier to continue with the group insurance, but you will have to make some changes, saying employees and ex-employees, so that you can also be covered. All this is possible today, right? So negotiate hard. Or if your employer is willing to agree, then shift from being an employee to a contractor. Contractors can also be covered by medical insurance. So you go and become a contractor to your employer, or now your ex-employer, for 2 lakh rupees a year. It doesn't matter. You're more interested in the medical insurance at the cheap rate. So find some way how you're protecting your risk, because you have to provide for all risk that is known. So cancer or liver failure or anything is not known, but better to anticipate. There will still be something which is risky, which you think, and oh my God, I should have thought about this. For example, if the husband dies and the company then withdraws the insurance for the wife, then what happens to her, right? We don't know. So all these things, whatever risk you can see, quantify, understand, you provide for it. So not providing for insurance or not providing for adequate medical insurance is another big blunder that I have seen. Thank you.